the Lokpal in toto? Will the administrative control be handed over to the Lokpal, or will it remain with the government? How will a CBI director be appointed? Will the leader of opposition be part of the collegium along with the Prime Minister and the Lokpal to appoint the CBI director? These are some of the nitty-gritty issues that are being discussed. We spoke with the CBI director earlier today, and we spoke with leader of opposition in the Rajya Sabha, Arun Jaitley, who's the chief negotiator as far as the BJP is concerned on the issues of the Lokpal. Clearly, as of now, still a little way away from that entire meeting ground on these issues. But what we do understand is the government is going to put on the table a midway option. They will say that the CVC will do the preliminary inquiry into complaints that come into the Lokpal. If they find there is a case, that through the Lokpal it can be issued to the CBI. Excuse me. For a specialized investigation. Will that be a workable solution? We don't quite know.
Well, I'm just, Navika, bless you there. I just want to bring to your attention and to the attention of our viewers as Navika is reporting the story. We'll be going across live to 7 Racecourse Road. Point number 5 in the SMS that we received from a top Team Anna member said that their condition is that the Lokpal shall have superintendence, administrative and financial control over the CBI. So it's much more than what is on the table today. We're going to have to look at this, and Navika, I'm going to come back to you. The story's moving very fast, and I think we should be expecting some action there in terms of the meeting ending in the next 30 minutes. Navika, only for a while now while you catch your breath reporting on the story. I'm going to be coming back to you in a few minutes. Thank you very much.
On the News Hour tonight. Without a political consensus, is Anna Phase 3 looking inevitable?
And it is this all-party meeting that is really the last chance for the government to avoid Anna's fast. The one last chance to prevent Anna Hazare from hitting the streets on the 27th. While it seems from all indications that the government made most of the demands made by Team Anna, but holding a parallel core committee meeting in the capital, Team Anna is refusing to budge from its position. It's either all demands met or the agitation begins all over again.
This all-party meet in all likelihood holds the key to the Lokpal logjam. One last chance to prevent Anna from hitting the streets. This is where the Prime Minister's meeting with the CBI chief and CVC early in the day assumes importance. Times now learns about a new compromise formula adopted by the government to seek truce.
In that meeting, we understand that some sort of a via media has been tried to be arrived at. What is being thought of and which is an offer which will be made at this all-party meeting is that any complaint coming to the Lokpal could first be perused by the CVC. The CVC would be an office which would conduct a preliminary inquiry into a complaint, and if it feels that a case is made out and it requires further investigation, it could then through the Lokpal be given as a special investigation assignment to the CBI.
On the other hand, Team Anna strategically ending their core group meet just before the all-party meet began. Team Anna issuing an ultimatum, spelling out plans for Anna's third agitation.
लेकिन 27 तारीख को जनसभा जरूर होगी, या तो अनशन के रूप में या सेलिब्रेशन के रूप में। इसको मद्देनजर रखते हुए कि दिल्ली में उस टाइम मौसम कैसा हो सकता है, हम लोगों ने मुंबई के आजाद मैदान की बुकिंग के लिए भी अप्लाई कर दिया है आज।
UP's attempt to gain an upper hand last night too backfired. Proposal for a separate legislation on Citizens Charter too was torn apart by Anna Hazare.
सिटीजन चार्टर ये जो अलग कानून बनाने की बात हुई है वो बिल्कुल गलत है.
Principal opposition party too throwing its weight behind Team Anna, backing its stand on the CBI.
We have expressed it in our MPs have expressed it in their dissent note. If somebody has a better formulation, we'll look at that formulation, but the underlying principle is a strong and an independent Lokpal. What serves that purpose, we'll go for it.
The government hoping for a consensus with an offer of CVC as a preliminary inquiry office and the CBI as a specialized investigation agency.
There's consensus amongst the allies, as you know. We have to now see what the substantive concerns of the opposition are, and then see if we can find a meeting point.
But the big question is whether Team Anna will accept the formula, as they already seem to eye Mumbai's Azad Maidan for Anna's third agitation. With Navika Kumar in New Delhi, Muralidharan for Times Now.
On the news hour tonight, has the hunt for India's stashed Swiss riches ended with the Parliament debate?
And we are starting our debate tonight on that black money issue. There is a growing sense that that was just a debate without any clear conclusions. That's the worry tonight. Renuka Chaudhary is with us tonight. We also have with us TSR Subramaniam, former Cabinet Secretary. We have with us Kumi Kapoor, senior journalist. Ryan Karanjawala, senior advocate of the Supreme Court and managing partner of Karanjawala and Company. M.R. Venkatesh, chartered accountant, is joining us from Chennai. Chandan Mitra is joining us in 2 minutes. But before we go into our debate, Chandan Mitra is with us tonight. Good evening to all of you. Before we go into the debate, for the BJP, it was L.K. Advani who led the charge in the lower house, the veteran leader moving an adjournment motion over black money. While other parties had their turn to question the government's moves on black money, it was a fiery exchange after Pranab's initial defense that was the highlight of the day's session. In the end, the government defeated the opposition's motion as it made promises to bring back the stashed away millions.
Black money is a serious problem.
After days of a standoff in Parliament, the first major issue to come to a debate, an adjournment motion moved by senior BJP leader Lal Krishna Advani on black money.
Justice Reddy ने पूछा Solicitor General से Gopala Subramaniam से कि why is the government not disclosing names of others who had stashed away money in foreign banks? Is it that the black money issue is surrounding only one person? We put it very simply and bluntly. Do you have any information regarding other persons also?
Advani choosing to attack the government for failing to bring the millions stashed in foreign banks.
कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट के निर्णय के अनुसार जितनी मात्रा में फॉरेन बैंक अकाउंट्स ओपन हुए हैं और हम उन्हें वापस नहीं ला पाए हैं और इस प्रकार से फॉरेन अकाउंट्स खोलने वाले लोगों को दंडित नहीं कर पाए हैं, उतनी मात्रा में सुप्रीम कोर्ट की नजरों में हम एक सॉफ्ट स्टेट बन गए हैं.
After almost all parties gave their view on the debate, it was time for the finance minister to put forth the government's views.
Yes, French accounts are there, but your interpretation is not correct. Not once, twice I had meeting with French finance minister. I said some of our countrymen are saying this information you did not get from legal sources.
And the minister looked to blunt the opposition attack, clearly saying that there were no MPs in the list of foreign account holders.
Prevention or tax fraud in the spirit of our London summit that the era of bank secrecy is over. It is not lack of initiative.
Black money, a debate that the BJP had been waiting for since the beginning of the winter session of Parliament. Finally, 2.5 weeks later, the debate did come up in Parliament, an issue especially close to the heart of Mr. L.K. Advani, senior leader of the BJP, who had dedicated a complete yatra, the Jan Chetna Yatra, to it. And when the debate began, there were sharp exchanges between the BJP and the Congress.
As the motion came to a vote, the government was able to defeat the opposition's motion, but promised to bring out a document on the issue.
It was an admission that we have not been able to get even a buyback. It was an admission also that no person has been punished because of having kept that foreign bank account without permission of the government.
It was a voice vote that was won comfortably by the government. But for the BJP and senior leader L.K. Advani, it was an issue that has been brought center stage and is unlikely to die down at the early stage. They have made the government commit to a white paper, something that they're going to keep pressing in Parliament for. Clearly, the battle against corruption is something that the BJP is going to corner the government in the coming days on. In New Delhi, Navika Kumar for Times Now.
Our first question is Renuka Chaudhary tonight. Ms. Renuka Chaudhary, the concern is that what is the purpose of a debate that doesn't come out with any substantive conclusions, remedies, admissions or plan of action as far as the entire black money issue is concerned? I mean, everybody gave their own point of view, but what came of it?
Arnav, shall we do away with debate then? So we'll decide that one individual will stand up perhaps and take a decision on what has to be done. That is ridiculous. Debate is the fundamental principle of a democracy and parliamentary practice. People will talk, people will say things. The fact that the government has accepted the adjournment motion, we have introduced it and you're talking about it, that is the way forward. It's not for opinion makers or individuals to take decisions. And it's also very interesting that you should now raise the issue that what did Mr. Advani, who moved the adjournment motion, what did he do? When he was in the government for 6 years, what was the way forward? How many names did he gather? What were the steps, the corrective steps that they took? So it's not enough to sit back and point fingers.
So even if we assume...
There is a healthy debate going on in Parliament, and we must respect that.
No, but even if it... I mean, I don't want to get into the debate. I'd rather Chandan Mitra come into the debate. My limited point is even if we assume...
you shouldn't.
No, I don't. My question is, Renuka Chaudhary, okay, but let's... I'll take your advice and stay away from the debate. My question is to Chandan Mitra, though, you know, even if Mr. Advani did nothing, how does it change the situation today? What has been achieved? There was no voting either. It was a very tame end on a burning issue. Chandan Mitra, why such a tame end?
Yeah. Well, you see, I would first and foremost advise my good friend, Ms. Renuka Chaudhary, to jog her memory a bit. She has been in Parliament before. She knows what were the circumstances. Till 2001 and the 9/11 incident, the Swiss laws were so watertight that there was no way any account holder in a Swiss bank, no account holder's name could be revealed, and the Swiss authorities would not agree to this at all. It is only after 2001 when the US sat on their heads and said there is terror money being kept in your banks, we want the names. Then the Swiss government made certain changes in their laws, and it's only after 2003 that the laws were amended to a point where it was possible in a very roundabout way to get the names. So it's from 2004 that the process of getting the names were actually legally allowed. Now Germany got 2,000 names, France has got names, US got its names, but the Indian government from 2004, UPA 1, did nothing. They were protecting some favored people who were obviously supporters or in some way associated with the UPA from being probed. And therefore, no point telling us, why didn't you do? You were in power in 6 years. I mean, why didn't the American government do anything till 2004? I mean, it was entirely in the period of the UPA that the names started coming because the laws had been relaxed. So, I mean, what is she talking about really? She knows this very well. Either she is deliberately obfuscating or she is just trying to mislead the public by saying NDA did nothing. NDA couldn't have done anything.
Oh, but where does the citizen go? I mean, at the end of it, what happens? What happens to the people who feel strongly about the issue?
No, Arnab, you must remember that after 2004 they should have got it, and the Prime Minister went on record in Parliament in 2009 after Mr. Advani raised the matter, and the BJP manifesto said that we will bring back the black money. Prime Minister said the government will take every step to bring back the black money.
No, till date.
Produce $1. Produce $1 that you have brought back to the country. And where is that?
1 minute. Let's get everyone into the debate.
Black money.
Let's get everyone quickly into the debate. I can see the debate is warming up. I expect it to, but I would also like to place on record that in my humble and limited opinion, I think the government only formed a task force to estimate how much black money is stashed abroad in March this year. I mean, till March this year, they didn't even form anything more than a task force. And there is no conclusive date for the task force to complete its work either. Is there, Mr. Subramaniam?
Right.
Is there?
Well, Arnab, for those who argue about the supremacy of Parliament, I frankly was a little disappointed because I thought it will be an illuminating debate where a number of new facts will emerge. You will understand the situation. It was a little obfuscatory, and therefore in the context of the other Anna debate, I am not sure that Parliament is the only and the sole forum for debates in India. I think we need more fora also, and more informative fora, which are more definitely number one. Number two, one would have liked to know at least this, an estimate, official estimate from government. It is not 10 years, 6 years. Yes, Chandan Mitra is correct. The thing exploded only after 2003 when the Americans went after 9/11. To some extent, he is perfectly correct. Therefore, it's only the last 4 or 5 years there has been action. But at least by now we should have a broad ballpark number with a 100% range, number one. Number two, clearly what we have received from Germany and from France through Swiss or Liechtenstein accounts is only a minuscule part of the total amount of Indian black money abroad. Some kind of a number of people. Now the excuse given was, I can't give names because we will now malign people. Okay, for those who have approval from RBI, it takes 24 hours to the computer. I am told the information came 6 months back. So what has it taken 6 months to find out who are legitimate account holders and who are otherwise?
No.
How
Mr.
much
Subramaniam
is involved? What kind of action has been taken?
Mr. Subramaniam.
Don't issue names. I think there are so many issues. Number one. The other disappointing
Mr. Subramaniam,
was that we did not touch domestic black money.
May I make one point?
And actually, the whole parallel economy, going on, and the finance minister says that international recession is affecting us. It cannot. There's a huge parallel economy going on.
I think there's a question.
The financial system doesn't affect us at all in any way.
There's a question.
I'm afraid the people of India have been disappointed with this debate. I think we need one more debate, a much sharper debate with clearer questions.
But if the debate was disappointing, if it reached no conclusion, I think both sides, including the opposition, must take responsibility for it. My question tonight is that it comes from one of our Newshour viewers, and I put it to Ryan Karanjawala. What is more important, Mr. Karanjawala? Getting the names or getting the money? Because Germany and Switzerland have struck an agreement in which income on undeclared accounts will be taxed at mutually agreeable rates, while clients' failure to pay tax on their former earnings will be addressed by a one-off penalty. What this means is, though the names remain secret, at least the government gets back some money. Do you think, and I'll come to Chandan Mitra on this later, do you think this is an agreeable proposal, Mr. Karanjawala? I mean, I didn't see this debated today at all in the Parliament session, which was disappointing itself. Mr. Karanjawala.
I think both are important. I think it's important to get the names because people should know who were the people who kept black money abroad. Equally, bringing the money back to India is equally important. And Arunab, to answer your earlier question as to what can the citizen do, the answer is simple. The citizen can go to court, which is what happened in our case when we appeared for Ram Jethmalani, who filed the petition in the Supreme Court. Over there, our case was very simple. These names from Liechtenstein which have come forward, please make them public. The government immediately came out with an argument that there is a double taxation treaty with Germany which prevents us from doing so. This whole argument of theirs was negative by the Supreme Court, and I'll just read out for you one sentence from the Supreme Court judgment. However, the Union of India did not provide any evidence that Germany specifically requested not to reveal the details with respect to accounts in Liechtenstein, even in the context of proceedings before this court. We also showed clearly before the court that Article 26 of the Double Taxation Agreement did not prevent these names from being disclosed in court. What did the government do? When the court appointed an SIT which consisted of two former Supreme Court judges and important members of the Indian bureaucracy, including the CBI chief, the CBDT chairman, the IB chief, they immediately, on one judge retiring, filed an application to recall the order of the Supreme Court. So what we find is that instead of going towards this bounden duty, in this case at least, and you can see this from the arguments that they've advanced in court, the government has at every stage tried to either block or dodge the proceedings.
Why?
So the first and most important thing is, that is for people to make a sensible conjecture as to why.
Clean best of things.
Mr. Karanjawala, you know, I think that you know a lot, but you're holding yourself back. I understand that. Renuka Chaudhary is smiling, but let me get everyone into this debate. But I want to make one point here today. Renuka Chaudhary, please tell me, before I come to you, Mr. Venkatesh and Kumi. You know, Manish Tiwari went on and on today in the middle of extremely passionate speech, went on and talked about privacy being an integral part of life. He quoted from the Supreme Court order. He said the citizens' fundamental rights to privacy cannot be breached by fellow citizens. It is destructive of social order. It is the notion of fundamental rights. My question is, A, why is the government so concerned? Government is in Congress party so concerned about the privacy of people who have offended, who have broken the law? And B, wasn't your own spokesperson Manish Tiwari quoting the Supreme Court order selectively? He's not read many other parts of the report which rip apart the government's argument on the oft-cited secrecy clause theory. Why didn't he do that?
What the Supreme Court in fact said, Arunabh, just in case you want to know, is very clearly it said that if people have legitimate accounts abroad, as the former Cabinet Secretary pointed out, you can ascertain that and only disclose the names of people whose accounts are illegitimate. And as it was pointed out earlier, you can check as to whether somebody has RBI permission in 24 hours and after that proceed against those who don't.
Exactly. So Renuka Chaudhary, was that a flawed argument?
Look, Arnav, if you're going to look for flaws, you'll find them. But the point of the matter is that there is a certain procedure that India is following. And you should worry about what the results are.
I am.
We are working towards a result-oriented methodology which will bring back to the country money, and I don't think we can afford to play to the media gallery about revealing names. That will be an automatic process once the money comes back into the country. I don't want anyone to, intervene in such a way where it will subvert the attempt that is being made by the government.
No, I'm not, but I'm not.
The laws have changed. We have signed treaties. We respect other countries' laws. And we have certain limitations. Now, we are looking at all of that collectively to ensure
I'm only
that
quoting.
This information is given back to the nation.
No, I'm quoting from the Supreme Court order, which also says, I quote excerpt of the Supreme Court order, which says, therefore, the information sought does not fall within the ambit of this provision. It is disingenuous for the Government of India under the circumstances to repeatedly claim it is unable to reveal the documents and names as sought by the petitioners on the ground that the same is proscribed in the said agreement. In fact, the Supreme Court has demolished that very argument which was sought to be put forth in the Parliament debate. Mr. Venkatesh, would you like to come in on that, please?
Arnab,
yeah, okay, Chandan Mitra wants to come in. Okay, we see responses. Chandan Mitra first. Yes, Chandan Mitra first.
A very, very quick point. You know, the Congress party is past master at this, where they obfuscated, blocked and completely prevented the Bofors investigation. 64 crore rupees, which sounds peanuts today, was actually confirmed by Bofors as the kickback paid. And the account names were revealed: Lotus, Tulip, Crocodile, Svenska. All these accounts were held in Swiss banks. What did the government do? The Congress party blocked all inquiries. And eventually, the kickback amount that was frozen in a London bank was released by this government, the UPA government, and Ottavio Quattrochi fled back to his country with the entire money that was kicked back from Bofors.
The question
from then to now,
1 minute, 1 minute.
Party is
1 minute. Chandan Mitra.
Accounts in foreign banks.
You know, Arnav.
No, 1 second.
Arnav,
Okay,
if I was
right
Mr. Chandan Mitra, I'd worry.
Yes,
I'd worry about slander and level.
Yes, ma'am. Renuka Chaudhary.
They're happily making accusations without substantiating what you say. I'm not standing,
please check,
holding
Chandan Mitra, all the CBI,
but to accuse the government of such things.
Get your facts straight.
You should have said all this in Parliament and not play acts to galleries on the national TV.
No, that's
you had your opportunity.
No gallery.
You were the ones who moved the adjournment motion. You should have said it there. But you chose not to. You come here on a television program.
I'm telling you. Why don't you reply?
That is your view.
You are making accusations. You are not telling. You are making accusations.
Would you?
I'm telling you. Where is Quattrochi's money? You've given it back to Quattrochi.
1 minute. 1 minute. Yes.
How do I give Quattrochi's money? He's an individual.
Well, I think I would like to clarify.
What individual? He was.
I would like to clarify, Chandan Mitra. Chandan Mitra, if you allow me, I'd like to clarify that these are views that have been expressed by you.
No,
these are views that have been
debate is rather pathetic.
Now, these are views that are expressed by you, but I would like to put a counter question to you, Chandan Mitra. Section 138 of the Income Tax Act says that you can approach the concerned commissioner and get information about any SSC. Why has the BJP not used this to inquire the information they seek? Is it because, as Manish Tiwari alleges, that the point of the BJP's campaign is more political than a genuine interest in knowing these names? It's a very specific point.
Rubbish. It is absolute. I mean, Mr.
Why is it rubbish?
Made a rhetorical speech, anyway, he's entitled to. No. The fact is that the government did not act. Then the Supreme Court intervened, as Mr. Karanjiwala rightly pointed out, that on Ram Jethmalani's petition, Mr. Jethmalani is a BJP MP, and on the SIT, because of the prodding of the Supreme Court, the government finally...
No, you didn't answer my question.
Otherwise, they would have been... but obviously... It is the right to know, the citizens' right to know that was used
you got other participants.
by people to try and get the Supreme Court to act, because the government is only interested in blocking the case.
No, there's an implication in this, and I think Manish Tiwari put it strongly today. The implication was the BJP is not interested in catching domestic black money. That was the implication which was hidden. Let me join Vinod Sharma into this. And sir, I'm not wrong on Section 138. I have it with me. I'm prepared tonight. I can quote Section 138 for you, but I'd rather get a response from Vinod Sharma on that point. Vinod Sharma.
You see, Arnab, you know, I'm not here to say who's right and who's wrong, but what I see on this panel, certain points have been raised by Mr. Karanjawala and Mr. Mitra. These I didn't hear during the speech or during the debate from the opposition. And unfortunately, for someone who has seen debates which are a photo finish in Parliament, this was a one-sided debate. In fact, the opposition, and I heard this debate fully. I wonder how many on this panel heard this debate fully from start to finish. But I heard this debate fully, and unfortunately, I felt that it was a one-sided debate, and the opposition ended up facing questions, you know. You have raised one question about the Income Tax Act, you know. There were three points raised by Manish Tiwari, whose speech, I would tell you, was not rhetorical. I disagree with Chandan very respectfully. It was a well-researched speech, and he said that there were three sources of black money in this country, according to him. One was the real estate, where certain laws were there in place during NDA regime, and they were diluted in order to check black money, and those laws related to somebody acquiring property or selling off property, and that being done after keeping the IT income tax department within the picture. Second, related to bullion trading in this country, and the dilution of the search and seizure powers of the income tax authority. And the same related to, and one related to Mauritius, where today a person can get a certification from Mauritius government saying that he's a resident of Mauritius, and there is no need for any cross-verification by the Indian government, which is because the NDA changed the law. Mr. Yashwant Sinha got up and said that this was upheld by the Supreme Court, and he was asked a counter question as to what impelled the government to bring this circular, which might have been upheld by the Supreme Court. So the portions of the Supreme Court which are being read by Mr. Karanjawala are different. What were read by Manish Tiwari are different. I think unless one reads the full judgment of the Supreme Court, which is still under consideration, because I think somebody has gone appeal and they have to give the final word.
Sir.
No, my question, would you please give me 1 minute? What I want to say is that this debate is inconclusive in my view. I think that had this debate been in Rajya Sabha, it would have been a more equal debate. It was an unequal debate because I don't think Mr. Advani was fully prepared. He hadn't done adequate research for this debate.
No,
and other people who were speaking on behalf of the BJP were, I think, ill-chosen. Yashwant Sinha and Jaswant Singh, who were both foreign finance ministers, could have done a better job.
That's all right. You're looking at it qualitatively.
That's your subjective judgment. That's not subjective judgment. Speak objectively. What Mr. Advani said about the amount, about the government's promise to bring us white paper, you have not answered that. And
there were no answers coming.
1 minute.
There were no answers coming from the BJP with regard to changes in the law during NDA time.
My question is,
no, we are
Chandan Mitra.
Thing was not NDA.
Chandan
Where has
Mitra.
UPA done to get the black money? Seven and a half years in power.
1 minute. Chandan Mitra, 1 minute, allow me. In fact, I want to tell our viewers that that particular exchange which Vinod Sharma referred to is with us. It's 40 seconds. I will take your indulgence and play it out in just 20 seconds from now, because so our viewers have it in context. In any case, you know, journalists and television channels are often accused by several people, including some on the panel, of taking things selectively. So we'll play that particular part in its full entirety context. It's only 40 seconds. But why I want to raise one question before that, I want to put that question to Kumi Kapoor. Suppose we assume Vinod Sharma is right, the BJP leaders did not do their homework, they did not put up a credible show, they have a bad record, they have an uncomfortable past, they have questions to answer for. Does it mean that the issue is settled? Kumi Kapoor.
Yeah, the issue is not settled, but I agree with Mr. Subramaniam totally when he said that for such an important issue, the debate as such was a damp squib and both sides were responsible for this. The opposition, I agree with Vinod, didn't really do its homework the way it should have, nor did it go at all into the whole question of black money in the national arena, the domestic front, which is a very important point. And Mr. Mukherjee's replies were totally unconvincing. The whole bringing up this point about treaties being the reason why we are keeping ourselves shut out from giving out the names. I mean, it's obvious that this is not so, because as the Supreme Court has also pointed out, there's no restraint at all on giving out the names. It's only through naming and shaming that we will get some sort of action. And the amounts involved are so huge and enormous. I mean, the national debt several times over. That certainly something should be done about the black money abroad.
So here's the clip
and
now.
This debate ended, I would say, as a real damn squib note.
Which is really disappointing. Here's that clip. Here's that exchange where Manish Tiwari makes an accusation and he tells the BJP, you have a very uncomfortable past when it comes to the Mauritius route. At which point Yashwant Sinha stands up in his own defense. A 40-second clip, ladies and gentlemen.
You can twist facts by telling wrong facts, and that's exactly what my friend Mr. Manish Tiwari has done.
Twisting facts merely because the Supreme Court decides to hold government does not mean that the intent may not have been misconceived. What is the implication of that circular? The implication of that circular is that since 2000 to 2011, the powers which were there with the government, in order to verify whether a person is a bona fide resident of Mauritius or not, whereby he can avail of tax exemption, that power was...
Okay, now that particular part. My question to Mr. Venkatesh is, questions being raised about the BJP's uncomfortable past. And Vinod Sharma also says maybe it does not have the moral authority to be raising the question so aggressively. That seems to be the point being made. Mr. Venkatesh.
I didn't use this word.
No. I'm interpreting what you said. Yes. Mr. Venkatesh.
Arnab, being a chartered accountant, my profession compels me to be with the black money people, and you are coming to me the last. Anyhow, as far as the black money issue and the BJP's discomfort is concerned, let me tell you that there is an instrument called participatory notes, which is used by people to bring black money back to India. RBI has been against it, and this has been since the time of Mr. Chidambaram when he was the finance minister in the National Front government. Then Mr. Yashwant Sinha let loose the participatory note. In fact, the Ketan Parekh scam of 2000 was a participatory note scam. Then we had Mr. Jaswant Singh allowing it, Mr. Chidambaram allowing it, then again Mr. Pranab Mukherjee allowing it. Long and short of it, you can call tutu mai on this for till the cows come home. But all of these people did not speak about participatory notes in this particular debate, on which $90 billion to $100 billion of money is supposed to have come into a stock market, exited at its own free will. RBI has raised several inconvenient questions on this. No questions has been asked. In fact, RBI has said, please ban it. SEBI is like a headless chicken on this. Finance Ministry cannot touch it. Enforcement Directorate cannot do anything about it. It is like the immortal soul defined in chapter 223 of the Gita. Nobody can touch it, nobody can cut it, nobody can fire it, nobody can wet it. So you are talking about something on a very superfluous, in fact the debate was almost kiddish. I think my office guys would have done a better debate. I'm sorry to say the parliament debate did not match the standards that was expected of somebody of the stature of Mr. Yashwant Sinha, Mr. Advani, Mr. Pranab Mukherjee, Mr. Manish Tiwari and the others. They did not touch the core issue, and if they had allowed 5, 6 chartered accountants and lawyers, I think we could have given better solutions and better clear pointers as to how to go about this. I am sorry to say that this was absolutely defensive debate from both sides.
Why was this so? Chandan Mitra, I am very curious to know. Unless there was some arrangement that was made between the Congress and the BJP that, look here, we've been talking about the issue, we need to chat about this for 4 hours, look all extremely concerned about the issue, have a little voice vote, and then so that nobody accuses us of not discussing the issue. So it seemed totally cosmetic. This entire debate.
I'm very disappointed. I'm very disappointed at the manner in which you are trying to divert the subject and go on to what the BJP should have done, whether the BJP had strong arguments. These are subjective matters. You are entitled to your opinion. But all the facts that were placed on the table, the fact that you could have actually moved seriously on the issue of illegal funds in foreign banks and tax havens. So after 2003, which the UPA government hasn't done, and anyway, it is an issue of this country's money. It is at the end of the day not the Congress's money or the BJP's money. It is India's money, Indian people's money, which has been stashed away abroad, and we have to get it back. Now the question today is, has the government done enough to bring it back? Has the government kept its promise to issue a white paper? Has the government kept its promise that it is going to do everything possible to get the money back and reveal the names? Now 17 names come in the first installment. The government says we can't reveal. We are giving a sealed envelope. And what happens? A few days later, a newspaper publishes all those names. That just shows the way in which the government handles the matter, taking recourse to absolutely non-existent laws and treaties to stop
Renuka Chaudhary.
Names. I wonder why.
Renuka Chaudhary, why? Why? If a newspaper can publish the names of those people who have done these voluntary disclosures out of the HSBC bank, why can't the government reveal it? To put the fear of God in people.
There is a reason why Parliament doesn't take cognizance of what is written in the newspapers. There is a good reason why we do that. All right? And we can't be playing to media galleries. We are doing what we are doing. We are very confident that we will be answering. We can't sit and answer Mr. Chandan Mitra on national TV what he didn't open his mouth in Parliament. You people, you know,
let her complete. Chandan Mitra, let him
political opportunism. And as for see, this is
Chandan Mitra, let her complete. Let her complete her say. Let her complete her say, Chandan Mitra. Yes, please. Yes, Ms. Chaudhary.
As you know, it's wonderful. Everyone's armchair advisors who never did anything while they could have. Then they bring this this motion into Parliament. Then none of them elaborate or speak on it, and then they all posture.
So
I mean,
that brings
quite amazing. You have a bureaucrat, a retired bureaucrat who was sitting in the government.
Yes.
I want to ask him, what did he do while he was there?
Good point,
How
T.S.R.
many notes
Subramaniam.
did he put up? What did he...
Yeah? No, 1 second. Good point, Renuka Chaudhary.
So
is
it's
making
all
T.S.R.
wonderful that now everyone thinks
after Kejriwal,
they're all going to get employment after this.
No, Renuka Chaudhary has asked a question.
Go to the CBI against me and ask them.
No, 1 minute.
Wonderful question.
Yeah, go on.
It deserves contempt.
Bureaucrats rule the country.
No. The question has been asked to you that you were cabinet secretary. What did you do? Is a question put by Renuka Chaudhary to you. I want your detailed response so that she can get the response which she's asked. She's asking a question here. She's saying this on armchair analysis.
I'll answer like this. I brought the RTA Act. I brought Delhi Metro. I brought Citizens Charter.
You brought that.
I brought the highway program. I brought changes in Official Secrets Act. And at that time, black money was not an explosive issue. I'm giving very specific answers.
Yes.
Please contradict what I have said.
No, I want to say one thing. I want to say one thing to what Mr. Subramaniam has said. Mr. Subramaniam has said that black money was not an issue. For his information, as disclosed by Shashi Tharoor in Parliament today, black money was an issue in the first 8 parliaments of India. Mr. Subramaniam, for a former cabinet secretary to say black money was not an issue of any point of time, I'm sorry, I disagree with you. And secondly, you have said this parliament is no good a forum. I'm sorry. What are you going to do? What are you going to do to replace this forum? For a former cabinet secretary to express no confidence in parliamentary democracy, I think it also deserves contempt.
Well, my good friend, as expected, Mr. Vinod Sharma has immediately picked up the opening given by Renuka Chaudhary. It is
okay.
I
think, Mr. Subramaniam, you are looking for post-retirement employment and you are trying to get a job to get back into Parliament, the very Parliament that you're holding in contempt. Do you believe that you're not being, that people
black
can't
money has always been an issue. I have written about it extensively in my book. I will send extracts on black money to everybody concerned, what I did at that time, and that's not the issue. I am not under investigation. I refuse to be under investigation by anybody. But the fact is, return of black money from foreign countries was not an issue. It exploded only after 9/11, only after the Americans put pressure on Swiss banks, only after that it exploded. At that time, in the 90s, incidentally, I opened the telecom sector. I had TRA established. Electricity Regulatory Authority, I'm adding 5 or 6 more on black money. It was not an issue I dealt with directly. It was the Finance Ministry. I'm not saying it was not there. Ever since politicians have been there in this country since 47, black money has been here.
Gentlemen, this is the point I'm making.
Yes. Gentlemen, if we are all agreeing,
I'm agreeing.
I come back to a basic question.
What about black money at home?
I'm agreeing.
No, that's all right. 1 minute. Can I please?
No, that's a different matter. We'll debate that another day. The issue today is Indian illegal money stashed away in foreign banks. No, don't confuse it. And the maximum black money generated in India by people who are, I'm sorry to say, associated with the ruling party.
Mr. Chandan Mitra, the question is that you made a big issue of it. Through the entire yatra of Mr. Advani, he spoke about it. The Supreme Court turned down your request on the Liechtenstein list, citing invasion of privacy. The debate itself was not specific enough. It was a broad elaboration of concerns rather than an effective pinpointing. It was a broad elaboration. I mean, it's a general debate. We are all concerned about black money. There has been black money. We hate black money. Let's get black money back. It was not a strongly argued case towards a specific conclusion, Chandan Mitra. Why was it so general?
No, I think the facts were put across through the medium of Parliament. Mr. Advani, meanwhile, actually had such a huge, long yatra where there was a massive turnout. I was with him for 3 days in that yatra, and thousands of people came and listened to him. He made black money stashed in foreign banks a major issue. One minute, let me complete.
No, Mr. Mitra.
Taking recourse to the privacy law. One minute. I'm saying that talking about privacy is absolutely shameful and disgusting. There are certain things for which there must not be privacy. You are a looter, you are a thief, you've taken money from the people and stashed it away abroad. What privacy? There's no privacy. The money must be brought back, and these people ideally should be flogged. Should be flogged in public, or at least sent behind bars for 20 years.
If you feel, I have great respect for you. I have no doubt that you do strongly feel about this issue. Then why did L.K. Advani say at the very end? He said, can we have a white paper on black money? I mean, we know how long a white paper on black money will take, and we know what's going to come of it. I mean, it was too loose and general a conclusion. Mr. Venkatesh raised his hand.
Sorry,
Mr. Venkatesh.
Arnab, the government is not going to bring that black money back.
Arnab, look at it. The problem with black money is, look at it. There is a huge problem with the black money issue abroad. The CBI investigates prevention of corruption in India. Enforcement Directorate looks at money abroad which is violation of FEMA. And then you have this income tax looking at tax angle. None of the three are coordinated, and each one of these institutions, unless coordinated and put under a single head of an investigating team that comprises of the CBI, of your Enforcement Directorate, income tax, plus also possibly the FIU which comes under the Reserve Bank, you are not going to get that and tackle this whole issue of black money. Second thing, it is not no more black money, it is red money. Please understand, it is terror money, it is narco money, it is money that is used for so many other purposes. Black money means only money that you pay 30% or you are not paid this 30% tax. You are looking at a far serious issue, like for instance somebody having links with the terrorists or the narco people or so many other things. Okay. So our debate today did not really go beyond the simple technicalities of taxation. As somebody said in the it did. As somebody said, I think this requires a far greater debate, and I'm sure that this will be the starting point, but you require a lot of such debates, not only within the parliament, but fairly across the media, to get across the point to our parliamentarians. Yeah.
Well, Mr. Venkatesh, that's exactly why we're asking today, and the strap goes on the question tonight, that has the hunt for India's stashed secrets ended with the parliament debate? That is a very fundamental point tonight. Kumi Kapoor, what do you think? No. Kumi Kapoor, what do you think? You've been listening on quietly.
One more thing. Arnab, just...
Okay. I think the government
just one point.
Very lightly in this debate by the opposition.
Yes,
and a white paper, as you said, means very little. We don't really want to know the quantum of money. We know it in different terms. You can't. What we wanted to know is how do you get it back, and why is the government taking no steps at all to get it back? And even in the debate, in this clash between Mr. Tiwari and Yashwant Sinha, all that was proved was that both sides are guilty of the same thing, that both governments had been protecting in some way or the other black money being stashed away abroad. As it was pointed out, these promissory notes in the share market, which have been going on through the Mauritius route, no government has taken an effective step to get rid of that. And within the country itself, if we look at what is the biggest generator of black money, it's coming from our political class itself, whether it's a campaign where nobody declares its accounts, or it is an affidavit of your assets which are hidden and it's not given a proper account. So it's a much larger issue which was not tackled at all with the way it should have been.
Which is why I'm so concerned that it seems to everyone saying it's a lost opportunity. I think even the opposition is going to have to think about it. Vinod Sharma, you raised your hand there. Quickly, 30 seconds to wrap up the debate. Mr. Sharma.
Yeah. What I want to say is that the finance minister made two important disclosures. One, that there is no name of any member of parliament in the list available to the government, which I think is some kind of a relief to people like me who believe in parliamentary democracy and who think that not all politicians are corrupt. But at the same time, he also promised a white paper. Now, Arnab, that could be the basis of another debate in parliament. This debate indeed was inconclusive. And I wish that people like Mr. Chandan Mitra, who is so zealously arguing the case here, was sitting in the Lok Sabha, and then the debate would have been perhaps more balanced. It would have been more balanced had he been sitting in the Lok Sabha.
Well, I'm only worried.
Had Arun Jaitley been in the Lok Sabha, the debate would have been more balanced.
Mr. Sharma.
Debate would have been more balanced.
Mr. Sharma, my concern is something else. My concern is I hope this debate ends somewhere in our lifetimes. As of now, it doesn't even seem to have substantial.
No, it will not.
That's the worry. That's the worry. And I have breaking news.
No, Arnab, but one thing, Arnab, you know, to start with this debate was truncated. It was focused on money stashed abroad. There is so much of money, black money within the country. And I would like members of parliament to make a declaration that they have never used any black money for fighting.
We have breaking news. We have breaking news coming in. I thank all of you for taking part in this debate. We have breaking news coming in straight from the Prime Minister's residence. Straight from the Prime Minister's residence, where we are getting politicians coming out, and Navika Kumar will be joining us in some time. I thank our guests for joining us in that part of the debate. Ramvilas Paswan there. I think this is the live briefing coming in from outside 7 Racecourse Road, on where it appears the whole decisive meeting on the Lokpal has ended also in a damp squib. There is totally no conclusion which has been reached, and let's hear what Mr. Ramvilas Paswan will share with us.
नहीं, देखिए, लोकपाल के मामले में जिस इशू को लेकर के हम लोग लड़ रहे हैं, हमें इस बात का खुशी है कि लोकपाल में अनुसूचित जाति, शेड्यूल कास्ट, शेड्यूल ट्राइब्स, बैकवर्ड्स, माइनॉरिटीज के रिजर्वेशन का किसी ने विरोध नहीं किया, सबने उसका समर्थन किया। हमने शुरू में ही पॉइंट ऑफ ऑर्डर उठा करके प्रधानमंत्री से आग्रह किया था कि पार्लियामेंट के बाहर आंदोलन चल रहा है, कल भी लोग आज धरना पर थे, कल भी बैठेंगे, इसलिए सब पॉलिटिकल पार्टी के लोगों से पूछिए कि कोई इसके खिलाफ में हो तो अभी क्या कहते हैं कि बोलें, नहीं तो फिर सरकार क्या कहते हैं, जब सब साथ में होंगे तो सरकार को लाना होगा, सरकार पर हम लोग दबाव डालेंगे। तो सभी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी ने इंक्लूडिंग बीजेपी सबने कहा कि आरक्षण क्या कहते हैं कि होना चाहिए।
आपको लगता है सत्र में आ पाएगा?
अच्छा, जहां तक सत्र का सवाल है, अभी उस मामले में क्या कहते हैं कि सरकार की तरफ से कोई कमिटमेंट जो है नहीं दिया गया है। सरकार ने सिर्फ इतना ही कहा है कि जो स्टैंडिंग कमेटी की रिपोर्ट आई है, वो स्टैंडिंग कमेटी की रिपोर्ट को जो है उसमें नोट ऑफ डिसेंट है, सारी चीज है, उसका अध्ययन हम लोग कर रहे हैं। अभी जो सारे लोगों का जो है विचार आया है, वो सारे लोगों को विचार को भी हमको देखना पड़ेगा।
कोई डाउट है कि बिल लटक सकता है?
नहीं, हम गवर्नमेंट के थोड़े स्पोक्समैन हैं, जो वहाँ जो आपका है वो जहाँ तक संभव है हम बतला रहे हैं, सब चीज तो नहीं बतला सकते हैं ना। तो उन्होंने इतना ही कहा कि सारा चीज का है और समय नंबर डे है, जब पार्लियामेंट का जो दिन है वो गिना हुआ दिन है, इसलिए इसमें क्या हो सकता है, वी कांट से एनीथिंग।
आपको लगता है क्या निकला, क्या आम सहमति बनी?
आम सहमति में ये था कि अधिकांश सदस्यों की राय थी कि संविधान सभी सदस्यों की राय थी कि संविधान का वर्चस्व होना चाहिए, पार्लियामेंट सुपर पार्लियामेंट का कोई काम नहीं होना चाहिए, एक्स्ट्रा प्रेशर में सरकार को नहीं आना चाहिए, और यहाँ तक कि कहा कि हरी में कोई डिसीजन नहीं लेना चाहिए। इवन जो एनडीए घटक के लोग थे उन लोगों ने भी कहा।
सर, इससे संकेत ये आ रहा है कि लोकपाल इस सत्र में बारिश नहीं भी होगी।
भाई हमने कहा कि जो अधिकांश सदस्यों की राय थी, और उसमें भी मेजर पॉलिटिकल पार्टी समझने के और एनडीए के घटक के लोग भी, उन्होंने भी कहा कि सरकार को जल्दीबाजी में कोई निर्णय नहीं लेना चाहिए। कोई ये जो संविधान जो काम बन रहा है, जो हो रहा है, वो एक दिन के लिए नहीं हो रहा है, ये भविष्य का जगत है कि भविष्य का दिशा निर्देश करने वाला है। इसलिए कोई भी जो भी काम हो ठोस तरीके से होना चाहिए, जल्दीबाजी में नहीं होना चाहिए। हो गया।
रामविलास पासवान,
सीबीआई के बारे में हम लोग की राय थी, हमारी पार्टी की राय थी। सीबीआई के संबंध में भी मतलब में अलग अलग राय थी। हमने अपनी पार्टी की तरफ से सीबीआई के संबंध में कहा कि सीबीआई को यदि एक तरफ में आप सीबीआई को सरकार से कहते हो सरकार के चंगुल में है, तो दूसरे तरफ में आप सीबीआई का 4 हस्बैंड बना रहे हो। एक क्या कहते हैं, कभी वो जाएगा लोकपाल के पास, कभी जाएगा सीबीसी के पास में, कभी वो जाएगा ये लॉ मिनिस्ट्री के पास में, कभी पैसा के लिए जाएगा डीओपीटी के पास में। इसलिए आप सरकार से हटाओ और लोकपाल से भी हटाओ, उसको इंडिपेंडेंट बॉडी बना करके उसको काम करने का मौका दो।
So there are two things to be noted, though I think we leave the interpretation of that to Navika Kumar when we come out on the other side. But the understanding one gets is A, there is no consensus. B, the BJP is stuck to its position. So the government's attempts at reaching a consensus on how to handle Team Anna during a parliament session have not been conclusive. Now, unless there is, what this means possibly is, and Navika will tell us more when we come on the other side, what this means possibly is this, that in the absence of a consensus, are we heading towards another standoff? It appears to be the case, but we are coming back with more from 7 RCR in 2 minutes. And the second debate on the News Hour tonight on the Lokpal is also on the other side.
On the News Hour tonight, without a political consensus, is Anna Phase 3 looking inevitable?
Samsonite presents the News Hour with Arnab Goswami.
This show presented by Samsonite.
In association with Berger Weathercoat All Guard, reverse the effect of rain with silicone. Indigo, welcome abroad. Sparks, add sparks to your life.
Step out with Samsonite.
Add sparks to your life.
झील में पत्थर फेंकिए, हरकत तो होगी। कहीं भी चले जाएं, परछाई तो साथ चलेगी ही। सिक्के अगर खनकेंगे तो मुस्कान बिखरेगी ही। हमारे साथ इन्वेस्ट करेंगे तो भविष्य सुरक्षित रहेगा ही। गारंटीड। SBI Life, future guaranteed.
I use it to read my scripts, manage my schedules, approve photos, surf the net, stay connected to my fans, watch movies, or win at my favorite games. Terrific performance, sleek in design, and good to hold. Just like me. Eyeball Slide. Enjoy the ride.
In June 2009, they told me I had breast cancer. I don't know where I got my strength from. Maybe from the wonderful doctors. But today, I am cancer-free. Hope is real as the rain.
Rejuvenate. Re-energize. With Fiamma Wills Men by ITC. Whole new fashion. Now in 4 signature flavors by Wendell Rodrigues. Polo, whole new fashion.
The Samsonite step-out question of the week. Without a political consensus, is Anna Phase 3 looking inevitable? SMS NH space Y or N to 58888.
Samsonite presents the News Hour with Arnab Goswami.
She's just got her feedback from the different political parties. She's spoken to her sources. Navika Kumar can now tell us more about where this entire logjam on the Lokpal seems placed tonight. Navika, how's it looking?
Yeah. According to information that we are just getting, Arnab, it was a talking shop really that took place here at the all-party meeting. All the views expressed by all political parties in the standing committee were once again repeated here at the Prime Minister's residence. Once again, passing the parcel, passing the mic really to all political leaders to give their views of their parties. There was absolutely no formula that came forth from the government. Everybody expressed their views about how they wanted a strong Lokpal, how they wanted a strong mechanism to fight corruption. But the talk shop really had no consensus at the end of it. There was hope for consensus, but as of now, no magic formula that has been offered by the government. At best, what we can say is that the government heard all political parties. At the moment, no portion, no magic formula ready. Once more, the government has said they will revert back to the political parties. How, when, in what form, not quite known yet, but deliberations within the government will start after this. What we did hear from some of the top leaders who attended that meeting was very clear that it was a talk shop. Once again, political parties which had given their views in writing in the standing committee virtually read out the whole things all over again. The big question being raised by these leaders is, if the government was not going to open its own cards on what it planned, then why did they ask for the same views which are now public statements and public stands of political parties?
That's interesting, Navika, you know, because without any firm date on when the government will now finish its internal consultations and get back, then it's only looking completely frozen. Navika, we'll come back to you if you have more on the story. I can see that you're getting more messages and phone calls from those who are maybe, you know, in the know of what happened in the meeting. So we'll give you some time and we'll come back to you. Navika, thanks for now. And I also am joined on the News Hour right now by Shazia Ilmi, member of Team Anna. And also with us today is Mohandas Pai. He's former director of Infosys. Sitaram Yechury speaking. Keshav Rao, thank you very much. Congress General Secretary in charge of Andhra Pradesh. Anjali Bhardwaj, member of the NCPRI, thank you very much. Mahesh Jetmalani joining us. I just want to dip in once again to 7 Racecourse Road for 30 seconds to hear what exactly Sitaram Yechury is saying. The 30 seconds, live to 7 Racecourse.
आप ठोस कुछ प्रस्ताव तो लाइए, तभी तो हम राय दे पाएंगे. सवाल है कि हमारे हिसाब से प्रधानमंत्री और प्रधानमंत्री के ऑफिस को लोकपाल के दायरे में आना चाहिए. खास तौर पे बोफोर्स के बाद तब से लेकर ये जो सिलसिला जो होगा ये होना चाहिए. नंबर 1. नंबर 2, जहाँ तक आपके ग्रुप सी एंड डी के सवाल है, वहाँ पे ये है कि ग्रुप सी एंड डी के लोगों को भी आना चाहिए दायरे में. तब उन्होंने कहा उसके लिए मैकेनिज्म की जरूरत है. फिर वही बात आई कि ठोस रूप से आप बताइए क्या है मैकेनिज्म, तब हम राय दे पाएंगे. लेकिन इनको आना चाहिए दायरे में, वो बात है. तीसरी बात आई सीबीआई की. जहाँ तक आपके करप्शन के केसेस हैं अंडर प्रिवेंशन ऑफ करप्शन एक्ट 1998 वाले, उसके अंदर जो भी इन्वेस्टिगेशंस जो हो रहे हैं जिसको सीबीआई को करना है वो लोकपाल के तहत में आना है. सवाल ये उठा है कि भाई सीबीआई तो नॉन करप्शन के भी कुछ केसेस के इन्वेस्टिगेशन करती है, जाहिर है बात, कुछ केसेस के इन्वेस्टिगेशन करती है. तो ऐसे केसेस जो है उसके बारे में सरकार सोचे. फिर ठोस रूप से आई कि बिना एक इन्वेस्टिगेटिव एजेंसी अंडर द लोकपाल, सीबीआई हो या कुछ और आपको करना चाहेंगे वो बताइए, लेकिन बिना उसके लोकपाल इफेक्टिव नहीं हो सकते.
Okay, now first question is to Keshav Rao. Keshav Rao, you know, as the Congress representative today on our panel, are you prepared for another showdown? Are you getting ready for another showdown? Yes. Mr. Rao?
Let me make it very clear.
Yes.
Mr. Arnab, at the very outset, let me make it clear, I am not representing the Congress decision or Congress party as such, because it is a process of discussion. Today, when all party has met, all party leaders have met the Prime Minister, and where all the senior leaders of the Congress party are there, we are clear as far as the report is concerned, which has taken the views of all the people under the board, and this is being discussed. That I know to be sure. And what I know to be sure is, we want a very strong Lokpal bill, which should have all the people's views given and agreed to. They must be brought onto the board. You see, it is not a child play wherein you are saying, again, it only has been a talking shop or sort of a thing. This is not child shop. We must talk. Even if we are taking more time, let us have a very strong Lokpal bill where all the people's views are again tested, and then we come out with a bill that is going to stand the test of the day. Now, this is what exactly our stand is, and more on the general, what exactly the standing committee said, with few layers which need to be looked into in detail, particularly when Yechury was talking about C and D. We don't want to make a supra-bureaucracy of Lokpal again, where you need a Dharmapal to look into them. All these things are there. So what I am trying to say is, the details are there. We must have, the contentious issues seem to be only two. The Prime Minister, where three models are offered, and I am trying to ask the panelists here only one question. Do they like to have a Prime Minister who, although Westminster formula is taken in the pattern is adopted here, but our Prime Minister, with this kind of a big country and parliamentary system and the diverse regional moodings, can he go to Parliament with any kind of small complaints that may not stick, but nonetheless they are raised? So
no,
these
but
are
you
few
see,
issues. We must look to the personalities too.
No, I get your point. My point tonight is that there is a date which has been set. The date is the 27th. At 7:30 we saw a press conference. Arvind Kejriwal, he came out and he said 27th we might actually hold it in Mumbai. So they are getting ready for that. Let me get Shazia. Shazia is representing Team Anna. You know, Shazia, even the left parties are opposing the inclusion of Group C employees in the Lokpal. I saw what Gurudas Dasgupta said. So when you say divergent views today, the divergent views aren't just Congress party. Even the left parties have some concerns or some of your demands. Yours, however, seems to be increasingly becoming an all or nothing kind of position. Do you think the people will be with you if you take this position ahead of the 27th?
No, I don't think our position is that at all. When we talked about Judicial Standards and Accountability Bill, and then we were told that the corruption issue will be taken up, corruption of judiciary, we actually ceded ground and said, let that bill take care of that. Inclusion of lower bureaucracy is really non-negotiable, because that is what people rallied around for and made common cause for, because this is really important and really the spine of the anti-corruption stuff and a system that we wish to create and hope it comes into being. As far as CBI is concerned, I think that is going to be a bigger sticking point, and we had expected a lot of fight to happen, and I think it'll be the toughest one to crack really so far. But I don't think...
What kind of fight?
No, I don't think any party is willing to give up control on CBI. From whatever we've heard so far and the reports that have leaked out, even from the party meeting, that, it's very difficult. CBI has been used as a handmaiden by every ruling party, really. So that is a big one to fight where we are concerned. But we will not give up our demand on inclusion of lower bureaucracy and independent CBI and Citizens Charter.
Yeah, so
Two of these, of course, have been reflected in the Census House resolution. Arnab, if you say that we should show flexibility, won't it be a travesty of sorts? Should we allow CBI not to be independent? People rallied around, made common cause for something. That was for a strong Lokpal. Some kind of system in check, something that addresses the issue of graft.
No, you see,
and if we don't do that and we cede ground, it won't be fair.
No, you see, the substantive concerns of the opposition and the issues of the CBI and all are there, but now I am tonight on the question of 27th. Mohandas Pai. 27th is the date which has been set. So it's, even I don't know. The BJP can come and contradict tonight what some leaders, Ramvilas Paswan said, even the BJP, all the opposition leaders also said, please don't agree on something in a hurry. So do you think the 27th date itself should hold, or should Anna Hazare, give more time to all the political parties?
Well, I think, Arnab, I think this has gone on for too long. He should hold to 27th for a very important reason. There is an economic crisis happening across India, and India cannot wait for this to be resolved. The rupee has been hammered out of shape, is sinking like a stone. The fiscal deficit is going out of control. Industrial production is down. Trade deficit is high. In the next 1 or 2 months, we'll have job losses. There'll be a lot of people who are going to lose their jobs. And investment is not happening because there's uncertainty. The political parties are fighting, and Parliament has been held to, let's say, hostage to many political parties, and Parliament is not working. And if this goes on and nothing happens, obviously the economic conditions are going to happen. So Anna should stick to 27. Government should come around, work to a compromise, and get along with the job.
The view is,
as far as CBI is concerned,
yes.
Arnab, Arnab, let me make a point. Why can't we split the CBI into two parts? One part goes to the Lokpal and one part remains to the government to do whatever they want to do.
No,
and in the CBI you can have one division which goes to Anna, do that, they solve the problem.
No, my concern is that the way the debate is progressing, you see, let's go back to April. Anjali, in April, it was said that many of the views of Team Anna are not just bad, they are dangerous. This is precisely the argument which was, it's not just bad, they were dangerous. Now we see slowly, a little bit of negotiation happening. Lower bureaucracy, judiciary, Citizens Charter, Prime Minister, which was seen to be an, completely point of no return kind of issue. Even, Anjali, the question I have for you is very specific. You can disagree to something for two reasons. Either it is not convenient to you, or because it is unreasonable, or because it is dangerous. Was the opposition to many of the demands of Team Anna so far only because they were not convenient to people? Because if they were dangerous, then they wouldn't have been flexible on it in the first place. Not even today.
Sure. I think, Arnab, the NCPRI has always maintained that there are certain provisions of the Jan Lokpal bill which, if they come to pass, would be in fact dangerous. We feel very strongly that concentration of too much power in one body, the all-powerful Lokpal which has been proposed under the Jan Lokpal, is very dangerous, because we've seen that a lot of the corruption, which is what we are trying to fight, is really a result of abuse of power, and power corrupts. And the sort of structure that the Jan Lokpal proposes, where it says all sorts of corruption should be tackled by that one institution. In addition, grievances of people, which are many, should be dealt by this institution. In order to be effective, it would need to be vested with a lot of powers. Now, to us, that has been dangerous and that continues to be. We feel that there needs to be a debate, a healthy debate. There needs to be discussions. We were very glad that it was sent to the standing committee, the Lokpal bill. We were not happy with the...
Anjali, why are they giving in? Why are they showing flexibility? Why is the government showing flexibility? I mean, we are hearing that there is flexibility on the Prime Minister and the lower bureaucracy as well.
Well,
why are they showing flexibility?
Ask the government that, Arnab, but what I can tell you is that the NCPRI from the beginning has been saying that nobody should be left out of the ambit of accountability. And even if it is the Prime Minister, we had suggested certain safeguards, but we never said that the Prime Minister should be left out of the ambit of the Lokpal. In terms of the lower bureaucracy, again, we've had one position which we had proposed, and I don't think that we have any sort of, great shift that there has been, at least in the NCPRI, on that position. We feel that there has to be the institution, democratic institutions have to be made to function. The police is supposed to take care of corruption. It has failed. In the case of Group C, we have said, given the large numbers of Group C officials, the first port of call
tonight the fact is
should be with the police.
No, tonight the fact.
And of course, there should be a review mechanism.
No, all that is fine. Tonight
to make sure that the police functions and takes action.
I understand I know what Aruna Roy said. Aruna Roy said that the Jan Lokpal talks of a centralization of power in a single body, not under anyone's scrutiny, dangerous situation will lead to rampant corruption. I know she said this on the 7th of December. My question tonight is therefore then, is the government willingly giving in to something which some people say is going to lead to rampant corruption? Mahesh Jethmalani, what's going on? I mean, we have the possibility of another big protest happening, maybe in your city, starting from 27th of this month. What, in your view, is this building up?
Well, I think Anna Hazare, Team Anna has to now calibrate its responses. I don't think they should take, make firm commitments on dates, etc.
Okay.
They should see whether there's a genuine move towards accommodating them, and they should be flexible. If indeed the feedback is that by and large all the crucial issues which give the Lokpal teeth are going to be accepted, then I think they can even think of postponing them. But that's a matter of their strategy. But they shouldn't be viewed to being unreasonable. And I think they should.
No, why do you think they're being unreasonable? Why do you think they're being unreasonable?
Sorry?
Why do you think they're being unreasonable?
I don't think they're being unreasonable. I don't think they're being unreasonable because right now the demands which they've accepted have not been crystallized by the government as yet.
No, Mahesh, you said...
Right now, nobody can accuse them of being unreasonable.
No, but Mahesh,
if there are...
Mahesh, I just heard you say... Yes. Just now I heard you say that they appear to be unreasonable, and you linked it to the date of 27th. I want you to tell me why...
I said that if there is a move towards consensus which substantially takes care of all the demands of Team Anna on the Lokpal bill, then just because it doesn't happen by the 27th, I don't think that they should be fixated about that date. That's all I'm saying.
Shazia.
If it requires a little more debate, a little more ironing out, a little more consensus, a little more time.
Yeah.
So, let's not play the doomsday prophet and jump the gun. There might not be a dharna at all. I really hope what Mahesh Jethmalani said really could come true, and there would indeed be a consensus on certain issues. As far as let's go back. I mean, it's not about Anna and the genuine misgivings some people might have about his methods and the fast. Let's appeal to our sense of objectivity and reason on this issue. Do we not want an independent CBI? Do we not know that this is what happens with political cases of corruption?
No.
Do we not know that lower bureaucracy should be included if we want to really attempt some kind of a draft or a law, kind of attacking corruption? So I think the issues really remain that we don't want to dilute it.
No, but the definition is...
It's a good thing.
Are you willing? Are you willing? I got a 5 points appeal. Are you willing to reconsider your definition of autonomy for the CBI? That's one question. Are you willing to negotiate a little bit on that?
It is what it is. Well, it is what it is. The UN Convention Against Corruption, as well as the Supreme Court ruling on Vineet Narayan case and several other rulings have pointed to that effect. And also we state very clearly that the CBI should be free from the stranglehold of the executive.
Yes,
we have seen CBI being used as a handmaiden at the hands of the political masters, dance to the tunes time and again. So we know
that is possible.
It's not about Anna Hazare, it's about what...
So I'm telling you are very optimistic.
Arnab, on that issue, on the independence of the CBI, I think Shahjia is absolutely right. They should not and cannot compromise, because not only does the independence of CBI and making it function under the aegis of the Lokpal give the Lokpal peace, but it is also very, very important for this country to be able to invoke the provisions of the UN Convention on Corruption. That is, those provisions which enable us to trace our monies lying abroad.
So what is
an independent CBI is absolutely necessary for that.
So Mr. Keshav Rao, if you today, everybody is saying Lokpal should get superintendents, administrative and financial control over the CBI. In fact, I think what Team Anna is now demanding is that the word government in the Delhi Special Police Establishment Act, which controls the CBI, the word government should be replaced by Lokpal. Now, Anjali may say that's dangerous.
No.
But that is a point of view.
The most dangerous thing.
Not at all.
No, you don't think so? Okay.
Not at all.
Great.
No, Anjali agrees.
Let me put one thing.
I agree with our stand on this. I've heard Nikhil Dey say that earlier.
Keshav Rao.
Now, Arnab, let me tell one thing. Now, I'll take only 1 minute. 27th, I don't know what is the magic day that is putting. Now, 22nd, Mr. Jethmalani said unreasonable for the simple reason, I have got a funny theory now proposed to us, that the moment you have a 27th, the Lokpal bill, the entire economy will flourish. Now, the moment 27th I'll do, the international meltdown will cover up. Now, all these kind of things that my friend from Anna team had said, I think really surprised me. Now, let us wait. As far as this flexibility is concerned, you have been accusing me earlier also that why are we relenting? In a democracy, this kind of flexibility, this kind of understanding and accommodation is necessary. This is underpinning of any democracy. If you think we have to run this government and such an important legislative piece like Lokpal, which is going to cover the entire 60 lakhs to 70 lakhs of people, it has to have a real thinking and deep thinking at that. And it is not only the parliamentarians, we sitting there tomorrow, but the people outside. Today what Anna has done is, he has focused on the issue. Perhaps he doesn't understand the legalities. He doesn't understand the air-splitting legalities.
Yes, Mohandas Pai.
That is what.
So I think Mohandas Pai feels you misunderstood. Mohandas Pai.
Arnab, as far as C&D is concerned, let's get the data right. The government of India has got 55 lakh employees, out of which 15 lakhs are in the armed forces, 10 lakhs are in the police, about 15 lakhs are in the railways, and 4 lakhs are in the BSNL. If you remove all that, the government servants will be only 5 lakhs or 6 lakhs. Even if you assume 10% of them are corrupt, it's only 50,000 people. So it's very easy for the Lokpal to have an investigative arm to take care of this corruption. So why do you make a big noise about 50 lakh people, 60 lakh people?
No, 1 second.
You're using the wrong data.
Let me intervene. Arnab, let me intervene.
No, 1 second. Gentlemen, you're getting stuck in the specifics. My question is 27th. I think people of the country want to know 27th. Is 27th inevitable? That is the only question tonight. If 27th is not inevitable, all the parties on the show can sit down and discuss this for another 2 months. Mohandas Pai, 27th, the magical date of 27th. Keshav Rao says...
I agree.
Yes.
I think 27th should be the D-Day. I agree.
27th should be.
Arnab, if you look at the cause and effect, I think the Congress party, it will come from the ruling party and the dispensation to decide whether 27th will happen and pan out the way we think it will. It could be a great day, it could be a day of celebration, it could be a day of Thanksgiving, but it's totally up to the ruling party and the dispensation to decide that.
No,
and the kind of Lokpal we'll see, the bill that will be tabled on the 20th and the discussion that will follow.
Arnab, not to be mistaken, we would really try for 27th. If it does not happen, let us not really think things have really fallen. The skies are falling. Let us really try for 27th. let us again meet all the parties. Let us really put the experts onto the field, because what has got stuck is, now my just friend was telling, it is only 50,000. I have looked today, I was asking Abhishek, I was looking into the files. It has turned out to be 72, and if you are excluding the things, it has come out to 7, which means whether there are complaints or not, nonetheless, we take one officer per 300 employees, it would turn out to be 30,000 officers, Lokpal officers.
So Mahesh Jethmalani.
Not that way.
Mahesh Jethmalani. No, Mahesh Jethmalani. One sec, Mahesh Jethmalani. The question is tonight to you. What is the BJP's position? Do you have concerns about it? Do you have problems with it? Or are you simply more worried about the fact that A, you don't want to come to the government's defense, it doesn't help you politically at all. If the government gets into political quicksand, it suits you very well. And B, you are cautious of coming out even if you have any concerns, because you don't want to be on the wrong side of Team Anna or whoever supports Team Anna before the 27th.
Well, let me tell you very frankly, Anna,
yes.
we completely commend Team Anna for the job they've done, but equally, we really want the end product, which is an effective Lokpal bill. Now, if there is a substantial movement towards getting an effective bill which accommodates most of the fundamental features, which give teeth to the Lokpal bill as presented by Team Anna, but there's a little bit of a delay in cementing those terms, and it spills over even to the next session. I would request Team Anna that if we are getting a bill which substantially meets all the demands, particularly the CBI demand, then it should not insist on the 27th just because there's a little bit of delay. But on the other hand, I think it's up to 1 minute, Shazia. It's on the other hand, if the government wants a postponement of the date 27th, I think it's up to the government to persuade Team Anna that look, we are moving in the right direction. Substantial efforts have been made there. You can check with your friends in the opposition and our allies as well that there is a serious effort going on. Convince Team Anna and make them postpone the 27th.
Why do I get a feeling? A terrible creeping feeling tonight, Mahesh Jethmalani, that completely contrary to your nature, you're playing safe.
Yes.
Anjali, my question is, Anjali, what happens to your points tonight? You know, Shekhar Singh came on the Calcutta Club debate and he said, just because I can't get 50,000 people with me, do I not have a point of view? Where do you stand in this?
Sure, I think I agree with what Mr. Jethmalani just said. It's from the beginning we've said that it would not be practical to set dates. Of course, we would like a good Lokpal bill and for it to be brought within a proper time frame. If required, this needs to be fast-tracked, and we are happy to see that the standing committee has quickly turned around with the report. However, clearly, even from the all-party meeting today, it's very evident that there are several contentious issues which need a lot of discussion, which need a lot of debate. There are different points of view. There is the Jan Lokpal bill, there is the government earlier draft. Now, of course, the standing committee has made its recommendations. There are several other points of view. I think it's very important to make sure that the best legislation comes out, both in terms of tackling corruption and in terms of grievances. I'm again going to repeat something that we have said before, which is that we are convinced, we've had a lot of experience in dealing with grievances of people. We are convinced that clubbing grievances with corruption is not the way forward. We are going to overburden the system, and we are also going to not give an effective way for people to be able to resolve their grievances unless it's a very decentralized system, which is what we need. And therefore, I think that what we really require is a robust debate, a comprehensive debate, and we need to come out with the best possible Lokpal bill.
Well, I think
and not just Lokpal, but also other legislations wherever there are.
I think Team Anna feels tonight that, you know, it's managed to put in the pressure. It feels confident enough to be putting the date of 27th. In fact, the announcement about Azad Maidan sounded like almost a bugle call. We'll see where the story goes. At the same time, they say let 27th be a day of celebration. So they are also playing it both ways. You know, this is a duel. It's a game of chess. It's a duel. It's a game of chess. Everyone's reading everybody else's moves, and people are getting slightly confused. But we're going to follow the story, and we'll have all points of view on this channel. Thank you very much for joining me on the News Hour tonight. Tomorrow, same time, I'll be back. Good night. Only for now, and goodbye.
Step out with Samsonite.
Add sparks to your life.
सीधा मुथूट फाइनेंस पहुंचा, 5 मिनट में गोल्ड लोन मिला। वो बोले भाई साहब गुड लक टू योर गुड लक।
मुथूट फाइनेंस।
I see big screen entertainment at home. I see beyond the usual. Epson.
Surprised? This is the offer of the century. Now with Century Mattress, get a special edition Bombay Dyeing bed sheet set, pillow covers and premium pillows absolutely free. Century Mattresses, India ka sleep specialist.
Guys, paise bachao on your travel booking on goibibo.com.
Now save money on air tickets, hotels and holidays. Log on to goibibo.com and book your travel now.
I use it to read my scripts, manage my schedules, approve photos, surf the net, stay connected to my fans, watch movies, or win at my favorite games. Terrific performance, sleek in design, and good to hold. Just like me. Eyeball slide. Enjoy the ride.
Get flexibility, capital guarantee, and a good bonus.